one thing I wish I would have said last week is when we're going to face the Giants. Shout out to my brother-in-law, but Chiefs went in there. They didn't look at the Giants. They looked at the grapes.
Welcome back to Chiefs fans before we were cool, the Brother Wonders podcast.
We are pretty wonderful.
And we wonder
My my mom,
extensively
yeah, my
about
mama
so many
tells me
things. What's your most odd wondering of the week?
my most odd wondering. I mean, I don't know if it's very odd. My odd wondering of the week was uh why was it that like last year no one blocked punts or field goals, and then we had like six this week. Like it's just weird because it felt like when the Chiefs blocked that punt against the
Yeah.
Broncos last year, it was like this whole like mystical thing, like, oh, they blocked it, it's crazy, like that doesn't ever happen. And then like this week is like half the games, like legitimately about half the games, it felt like got had
Sure.
a blocked punt or blocked field goal.
This was a special week for special teams, to
I
be sure.
guess. Yeah. A lot of
Crazy
games
stuff.
lost.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting.
So I don't know. That's the first thing that popped in my head when you asked that.
No, no, that's a good wonder thing. It's actually on topic. Mine would not be. So we'll go ahead
What
and
what
keep
what
moving.
what about yours? So what's yours?
I mean,
You can't tempt us with the mine wouldn't be on topic and then not
well,
tell
I
us.
kind of do that with our videos all
The
the
fans
time.
the
I kind
fans
of
want to know.
cut it there. Last time I tried to go on this rant, no. Um, I kind of been thinking about cognitive biases and the way that they feed each other. So some of my students were talking about how your confirmation bias is fed by in-group bias. So you're like you
Right.
you only listen to people that agree with you, so you create a group and then your group feeds your ideas and then you kind of create a cycle of that. And so one of my students just pointed that out in terms of what we've been studying, and I thought, I mean, like it's kind of an obvious thing and something I've thought about a lot, but it was just kind of an interesting thing that I was proud of my students, I should say, for wondering that more so than myself. But anyway, that was the first thing that popped in my head.
Mm.
So
I
I'd
immediately
be,
assumed that you would want me to talk about, you know, the football, but it's, whatever.
yeah, I mean, I guess I also wondered stuff. I wondered why Malik Neighbors couldn't score me any points in fantasy.
Yeah.
And I
And
was
I'm
like,
thankful
oh,
for that.
Spags took him out. Yeah, yeah, that was rough. I needed him to outscore Harrison Butker, which was kind of possible with his struggles, but he got shut down, and Russell Wilson's little moon balls were not hitting the way they were hitting against Dallas.
Right. Well, even against Dallas, like it was throw it up
Yeah.
into double coverage or throw it up and, it was risky plays. Like it wasn't like Malik Neighbors was wide open. I'm sure he wasn't some, but there
Yeah.
is you see how it can go badly too.
Yeah, I mean he lost. I mean they lost the game on a moon ball that got intercepted. So
Yeah, that's true.
uh,
That's true.
that's also yeah, I kind of saw that anyway. But I remember it's always conflicting, right? When your fantasy player is for the other team, you're like, I still want to
No.
win, but I would like to get that touchdown and those points, and maybe but
I feel
it
like
is
I've gotten to the point where maybe I'm just it's like I don't care. I just want the Chiefs to dominate everyone. I don't care anymore.
wow,
I don't really
that's
care
true.
about fantasy. If they're going against the Chiefs, I don't fantasy is a far second for me.
I feel like you're a true fan of the Chiefs, and
Maybe I
maybe I'm
am.
just maybe I'm just a poser here.
I feel like I used to be more conflicted than I am now. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
screw this stupid fantasy stuff. Let's destroy them. Like, I hope my guy gets no catches. Let's just wipe the floor. I do get annoyed when they do like one of their other players does super well, and I'm like, come on, if you're gonna score points, at least score points that I'm gonna score as well. Like,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we actually have some Wassa wonders this week.
Oh,
I
good.
thought
I was
ahead.
I was wondering about Wasso.
Yeah, Mr.
I was wondering
Wasso.
what he wondered.
Yeah, we I wonder too. So I asked him, which is something you can do. Um, so here's a question that's kind of more big picture. Assuming he would re Tyreek Hill would be willing to renegotiate his contract, should the Chiefs pursue a trade?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Here's my thought. Jawan Stinkin Taylor.
For Tyreek Hill.
Obviously it's just like a salary dump. You know what I mean? But like that's the only way I could think the salary would work, right?
Yeah,
Even with some sort of a pay cut. He would still maybe have to renegotiate or do something, but it'd be like him and I don't know what kind of a pick. Maybe we give him a second round pick back after they gave us all those other picks or
yeah,
something.
you'd
Like
have to
that's
probably at least do that. Who wants Jawan Taylor now? I mean, he false starts every play,
yeah,
and
but who
sometimes he
wants
gets called,
Tyreek
sometimes he
Hill?
doesn't. I think a lot more people than want Jawan Taylor.
That is true. That is true. That is true.
I
But
mean,
I was
he's
just
still
saying,
a good receiver, just because they're not playing well. I don't feel like. I guess he has so many just domestic issues that maybe that puts a lot of people off. But
domestic issues, high price tag, at least for a
yeah,
year. Yeah, I don't, you're not going to get much for him at this point if they were to trade. And so maybe they just play it
right.
out. Mike McDaniel
Yeah,
just tries to keep his job by having a good year.
they every year there's like this. Oh, this team is bad. They should trade away all their best players, and it just isn't like doesn't usually happen. Most teams don't do that. They usually, I'm guessing, they would want too much for them to make it worth it and all that. I mean, like it ultimately comes down to what they would want for him, right? Like, and if we could even make it work, we could make it work. We could redo Mahomes' salary or whatever. I'm sure he'd be willing to do that.
Yeah.
Man, I would love to see it. I think it would probably, I don't know. I guess if you decide like this is going to be a year we're really going for it versus next year or something like that. But I feel like playing for the future is going to be better. So I don't really think so. I think
Yeah.
we have some good young receivers, and so let's not um, hamper ourselves with a aging, granted receiver that is still probably better than our receivers, or at least on their level, but
Mhm.
not but not are way more expensive, obviously.
Yeah. Having a shot at a young player in let's just say second round for the sake of argument, right?
Yeah,
Like for 4 years, cost controlled is so valuable when you're trying to build a dynasty. And you just can't afford to make those big moves, splash moves. We just don't do it. And we can't really because we're actually playing around our quarterback's contract.
yeah,
Um, it's not, you can kind of do it like Philadelphia does. I mean, obviously, they've done a great, amazing job building their team and roster building around that. They're doing it with extensions and trying to get ahead of um, the salary cap jumps, which pushes up all the salaries of all the players. And so they give their extensions early to the players they know they like and they want around. And
yeah,
there's a risk to that. And maybe 5 years from now, it'll backfire and they'll have all these big contracts or 4 years or whatever. 3 years, I guess, probably is more reasonable with that. But they're not quite doing what like New Orleans did with all the void years and whatnot. So anyway, there's just roster construction. We need the capital. If Tyreek next year wants to come back for one last hurrah and do something like that after his contract, I'm not sure if his contract's for a couple more years or not. If
yeah,
it is, then I think maybe probably not an option. But like if he becomes a free agent and comes in on a 1 year deal for 8 million, 10 million, um, that would be
yeah.
fine. But like with to your point, Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy are good enough, and we don't want to mortgage our future for him at this point.
On the flip side, it's hard to hit like a lot of. you know, drafts don't hit. Like
Hmm?
that's a legitimate thing too. So
But the
if
30 million does hit.
the 30 million is the trouble, and
Yeah.
yeah, well, I mean, I think that's probably why Joel said the thing about reworking his contract or whatever.
Yeah. Let
But
me see what his
but
contract
yeah,
is. But
it's
anyway, you have
just
thoughts?
no, it's just kind of like what we said. I don't, I don't know that we could swing it very easily when you have a like I know Mahomes isn't even nearly as bad as some other ones, but when you have a quarterback making that much money, it's hard to make to pay a lot of other guys. I mean, you see it with the Bengals. They paid their guys. Great, but they still don't have a defense because they paid their three all-stars all that money. So, um, yeah,
So the Dolphins could move on from the contract after this season. So they could move on from it. Um,
but he's still under contract technically for
yes, for the
gotcha.
30 million in average annual. So yeah, you would restructure the contract. There'd be a couple of other changes there, but it's not a bad thought. I just don't think we're in that spot yet. And I don't think it's the way that they're doing it. Like, I mean, like if you're
Yeah,
not keeping Joe Tooney, which I thought was a mistake and still think is a mistake, you're not going to go back and get Tyreek for the 30 million. Like Chris Jones is a little unique situation, but I don't think he gets another contract in KC
I doubt it.
unless it's like super reasonable, team friendly.
Yeah,
So
he's a phenomenal player, but he's definitely, I mean, that's a lot of money, and he's definitely, I feel like he's definitely not quite what he was a few years ago. So,
yeah, he's slowing
um,
down a bit. No
still
offense.
excellent, still excellent,
Absolutely.
um, but yeah, well, I
But
mean, we still have him under contract for a few more years. So at that point, you would expect him to progress some.
yeah.
So,
Still
um,
waiting for one of yeah, I gotta I, yeah, I'm trying to decide like I'm thinking about getting another jersey. Probably not for a while. Just kind of thinking for the future though. But who would be like the best jersey to get for the Chiefs right now?
I mean, I would probably say Rice or Worthy because you would assume there's a good chance that they get an extension. Um,
Yeah.
but like, I mean, you could do like it's just hard because, like you said, Jones will be there for the years he's on contract, but I don't know if he gets another one.
hmm
Um, like Karlaftis or someone like that. You never
Karlaftis
know.
is with us for like 6 years. I've been considering that.
Could do any Karlaftis one. That'd be pretty fun.
He's gonna be there
I'm
for a
not
long time.
I'm not thinking
Maybe
like the
maybe I wait till Kelsey if Kelsey retires this year and then I'll just like get another one next year and try to
there you
find
go.
one of the good players that's not like a Mahomes probably because I agree with you. I don't want to be running around with all the 8-year-olds with the Mahomes jerseys.
Yeah,
Um, so like Xavier Worthy might work for 3 years, I guess for sure, and then maybe extension. If we give an extension to McDuffie, that would be my pick. Um, if we
yeah,
get him an extension this year or next year. So that would be another option. But yeah, Karlaftis, I think if I was doing it now, I'd do Karlaftis or Creed Humphrey maybe.
yeah. He'll
Um,
probably be around for a long time.
yeah.
I would
Yeah,
assume.
centers
It
age
feels
pretty
like
well and he's really good. So
yeah, and they're not so expensive that you feel like you have to move on from them.
yeah,
Like they're usually fairly reasonable, so usually people will pay them and keep them because other people aren't willing to pay enough more to get them to leave.
yeah. Anyway, so that was another kind of random wonder. Wondering.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
that's what I wonder about.
I did Pacheco, and I mean he hasn't been playing great. I don't know if that he'll be around. I guess it depends on what his price tag is. So
He'll
you
probably
never
be
know.
around, but he probably won't be the main running back for much longer. Um,
Yeah.
maybe another year, but we'll see. Where did Tyquan Thornton get so much swag? A little bit of a loaded
uh,
question.
so
Maybe I should ask you, do you believe Tyquan Thornton has swag?
I mean, he's got hands. I guess that's the same thing. I'm not gonna lie, like, um, yeah, I'm not gonna go there. I have no idea. Just inherited it, got it from his mama.
Yeah,
Goes
he
by
he
naturally.
lost it when he was with the Patriots, though.
Yeah, but that's because of the Patriots. So
Yeah,
what a garbage organization.
they don't really know how to use their receivers.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and that's like this year they finally have a better head coach. Like but sometimes it doesn't work out as well. Like certain receivers do better in different situations.
Yep.
Um, and so he seems to have found a stride, some chemistry with Mahomes, and sometimes that's what it takes. Uh, I also don't know. I didn't watch a lot of New England, but it could be that they didn't want to do a lot of deeper passes, and that's his thing. I mean, that's
Yeah.
um, like it's not like he's catching a lot of short routes. He does a few, but that's not his main thing. And so if that's not what they're wanting to do, then he's not a very good fit, and um, came to a place that's a better fit. So
I like him. I think he's a better version of Justin Watson, and I'm so much happier having him run those routes than MVS.
yes,
So
that's who I was thinking of. Yeah,
yeah,
MVS.
MVS was mostly like a blocker and just cleared. Um, so he did that okay, but I'm kind of glad he's doing whatever he's doing. I don't know.
I'm excited for Worthy being back. Both of
Yeah,
those guys I trust as a burners down the field. So
I
we'll have some
traded for him in one of
options
my fantasy leagues, so I hope he's good
for for
for Worthy.
Worthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have him in my other league.
Yeah, I mean, he might get injured again, so it was kind of risky, but it was just somebody I'd like, anyway, gotten with my waiver priority, so it
Big
wasn't
cost.
too stressed about that.
Yeah,
Yep. But anyway, grade the trade. No, we're not fantasy football. We are
we're
Chiefs
not.
podcast. So, um, do you think the second half was a spark, and the offense will start moving better?
Uh, so I don't know. I was very encouraged to see our run game do pretty well. I don't know how the Giants' run defense is,
Hmm.
how that ranks, but I felt like pretty encouraged by that. I know that the Giants' secondary isn't really great, so I don't know if I feel super encouraged by our passing moving the ball down the field because it's just a weaker opponent, and so it's easy to play well when you're playing against bad opponents. I mean, you see how everyone's. This is now I'm going to ruin all your fans. You can see about like the defense on Dallas and how everyone's got tons of yards there. Like
Hmm.
Dallas doesn't have a good defense this year, and so you can have a lot of yards. I'm not expecting Caleb Williams to go out and score that many points every week. Like that's not realistic. So in the same way, I'm not like super encouraged by our passing output, but I feel like our run, having a pretty decent run game was encouraging to me.
Yeah. The run game was 4.5 yards for Pacheco and 3.4 yards for Kareem Hunt. So the numbers themselves are not still not super strong. That doesn't always put into context everything else that was happening, but
Yeah,
it was a
I don't know.
better it was a better game for the run game. Um,
And I
it-
also include some of those like swing passes
oh yeah,
in my
like
mind are part of the run game, and so those go as passes, but they're like so I guess some of those I think did pretty well.
yeah,
I,
we got some screens going again, which is a Andy Reid special. I'm pretty sure he's going to keep working on that though, because we had several get blown up and
yeah,
not function. So we need to get those a little bit stronger. So we'll see. Mahomes has just been off target. Like his deep throws are
yeah,
not on point. So he's pushing it though. He's working on that, and that's what we want to see. So they'll start hitting him. It just, maybe you're right. Maybe it's a somewhat of a product of, not having uh Worthy, who's fast, so fast. he kind of just adjusted to Worthy, and then Tyquan Thornton's fast, but not as fast. So we'll see how
Well,
it
that
goes. I hope Worthy is able to stay healthy and not re-injure the shoulder because that could knock him out for the season or for eight
yeah,
games till playoffs kind of thing. So um, that would not be ideal. Um, I like, yeah, I think things are okay. Like they're fine. We need our receivers. Um, I like I said last time, I would love to get into the out of the Rashee Rice suspension 500. And if we're 3-3 at that point, we can just win two of the next three games, then that'll be good. Now that's a little bit of a task.
yeah.
So our next three games are
It's
going
the
to be
Rams, the Lions, and Jaguars. Is that right?
uh the Ravens, the
Oh, I said
Jaguars.
Rams. I was thinking Ravens,
Yeah.
and I said Rams. Yeah, yeah,
So the Ravens, the Jaguars, and the Lions. Yeah,
yeah,
so we talked about that a little bit last time. We'll see the Ravens. I mean, they we always play them pretty tough. I think Spagnuolo does a real good job holding Lamar Jackson, like keeping him from going off. So we
yeah,
still have a shot. Um, Much better shot if we have Worthy, but um, we'll see kind of how that plays out. So
yeah.
I like
Uh,
kind of where the offense is going. I think our defense is looking really good.
Our
Really
defense
happy with
is.
that. They
Mhm.
shut down, to the to, to the chagrin of my fantasy team, they shut down Malik Neighbors real hard. Like it's crazy. And really, I don't know. I think the Giants need to move on from Russell Wilson and just start Jackson Dart. It seems like all the teams, but it's kind of hard because like even us as Chiefs fans, Mahomes sat for a year, and that
Yeah.
probably was helpful for him. You don't learn bad habits. You don't, you're able to kind of focus on developing some like your mechanics and other things
Hmm.
outside, and then that way when you're actually playing in the NFL, you're hitting things in the right way. So it is kind of a balance. I think it was good for Drake May to sit out for a while. It's good probably for Jackson Dart to sit out while they play all the teams like the Chiefs and stuff and let Russell Wilson just kind of throw moon balls somewhere over the rainbow.
I think that they play couple. I can't remember. They have one or two games, and then they play the Saints. I would think that maybe play Russell Wilson for the next couple games, and then put him in versus the Saints because their next couple games are pretty tough. I'm trying. I don't remember who they're
Yeah.
up against, but yeah, I think that it's easy to just say like, yeah, you spent a first round pick on a quarterback, like you gotta use them. But they also, if they can, you can destroy their confidence. You can just like you said, build a lot of bad habits if you're putting them in there and they're just getting like crushed. And like the Giants have some things going for them. Mostly they have a good defensive line and they have Malik Neighbors. So like it's kind of tough. Like their offensive line isn't great and a lot of their other weapons. Of course, what was Scatterboo? He was uh he was running over people. He was
He's
uh
fun.
he was pretty fun to watch. I mean, not super fun to watch as a Chiefs fan, but he is pretty runs hard. He is entertaining. Um,
Yeah.
so maybe they found something there. Of course, I don't know how long uh, their other running back will be out for, but
Tyrone Tracy.
yeah,
Yeah. Scatterboo is probably going to be the better runner. He just plays hard, but he might run into some things like Puka Nacua runs into occasionally, which is the way he runs aggressively, that he might get some injuries. Um, he just plays like that. Or even Pacheco, kind of runs through people. It's a little tricky when you're always just trying to run through people as a running
yeah,
back. You could like your body feels it a little bit too.
yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. I mean I picked him up in the league where he was available because I thought he might be good. So we'll see if he's good. Um, so yeah, let's think as we think about that. Obviously, we want to win. Any other takeaways from the game? I mean, Tyquan Thornton was our leading receiver.
Yeah.
Talked about him a
Um,
little bit.
he had some great catches. I mean, he was coming down with it well. Like that was encouraging to see in contested catches and stuff. He was still coming down with it, and I feel like a lot of times we've been missing that, where it's like we throw it into if it's not an easy catch or there's a defender there, our guys don't come down with it. So it's good to see that.
Mhm. And that's just
Um,
like not Hollywood Brown's or Worthy's game, you know, or even probably Hollywood Brown. He's a smaller
yeah,
receiver too.
I get it. I'm just saying it was
Mm.
an encouraging thing to see, I guess. I don't know. And then I was going to say something else, but now I can't think of it. So,
We got some
um,
contested catches down the field. Tyquan Thornton.
yeah. So it was good to see that. Hopefully we do more of that. Hopefully we can. I think in general, like I was going to say, yeah, Mahomes just seems off. I think that he's been playing great as far as scrambling and staying inside the pocket and making some stuff happen, but he does need to uh, start throwing better. Get back
Mhm.
to how he used to be throw more consistently and better than he is right now. So I don't know why that
I'm
is, but
This is a scary thought, and I'm not trying to wish into existence and don't come out, all half dozen of our fans don't come after me. But I'm wondering, like a thought I had, this was something I wondered, was like, I wonder if Mahomes like off balance throws, like those mechanics are kind of like put him in a spot now where he's struggling. Like you know what I mean? Like it's like you see the highlight reel throws, and like earlier in his career, he was like making
mhm,
these crazy throws, but there's also a level where it's unorthodox. It's not as consistent. And
yep,
I like this is me being a little nervous that it doesn't come back the same way it was. Um, because of some of the shifts in how that works. So I mean again, this is just some random person saying it, and I don't hope I'm
the
totally
expert.
wrong. I hope I'm totally wrong. But like that was something I was wondering about as I was like thinking about Mahomes and why he can't hit deep throws anymore in the way that he used to, with the precision he used to. He's been one of the most off-target quarterbacks in the NFL. Like statistically, he has not looked good. And and some of it is because his throws are like incredibly hard and he's like making throws work. Like there's been a lot of really good stuff.
Yeah,
But Um, some of it might just be kind of, when you're not throwing from the pocket, all those, not being able to trust his offensive line for a couple years. Like there's some habits you can build. And I hope he hasn't built any habits that can't be unlearned or I think it's just rust, honestly. I think just not throwing the long ones, it's gonna come back, but it's gonna take some work there.
could be right. So I guess we'll see.
We'll see. So, but good job on the win, Chiefs.
Yes. Um, one thing I wish I would have said last week is when we're going to face the Giants. Shout out to my brother-in-law, but Chiefs went in there. They didn't look at the Giants. They looked at the grapes. For those of our fans who get the reference, that's for you.
That's for you. We
For
love it
everybody
so much.
else, it's not
Hey,
for you. That's okay.
oh, here's the other thing I wondered about, and I found, without even searching for it, found articles that were saying that. I was like, I wonder if the Eagles are going to be like on watch, like the officials are going to be on watch for the Eagles on those
Yeah.
that early jumping. And I see an article. It's like, oh, the refs have all been informed. Hey, from now on, you watch that because we don't want that happening.
Well,
So,
they let them know, but then they still had like that because they said that they told them it was going to be a point of emphasis this week, and they still had at least one, if not a couple. I
oh,
saw,
really?
yeah, this
I
week.
didn't follow that game at all. I wasn't able to watch it. So
I one of the guys, YouTubers I was watching, um, made a note of it, made a video about it. Like, yep, well,
it's
you
gonna
can see
become
it
a
started. It
thing.
did
Good job,
again.
YouTuber. they're in trouble, buddy. They're in trouble. Suddenly that 1 yard is gonna be like, and it's gonna happen in the middle of a playoff game, and they're gonna lose
Yeah.
it. They're gonna be like, "Oh, we had the touchdown," and then they won't.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
it's
it
it happened to us. Like it happened to Jawan Taylor. Like I mean, he does false start a lot, and he has
yeah.
issues, but it just became a national thing, and then it just everybody's aware of it, you know. And then the whole like the Chiefs are paying the refs. It's like it just people started talking about it, and then people didn't really think about whether or not it made any sense. They just were like, "Oh yeah, clearly the refs are favoring the Chiefs."
Yeah.
It's
People like
like
narratives that they love that they yeah. If it matches their worldview that the bad guys, they like to go along
these
with it.
conspiracy. Our vice president said that as a Bengals fan. Like he literally said, I really hope the refs don't rig it for the Chiefs this year."
Now,
Like,
really, that's wild.
like what what are you talking about? That makes no sense. It's just like it's not logical. It's just like you understand how these things work, right? Like you understand
And
what
how
it would
complicated
never mind. Never mind.
the whole NFL is
It's just
to
like, oh no, my team's not winning. They must be cheating. Not quite.
maybe tell your Bengals to get better offensive linemen so your quarterback's not hurt all the time, so that
It's
you can
rough.
actually make the playoffs, much less make the
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, that has been kind of the story of them for sure. So not that I feel too bad for the Bengals. I mean, they
Yeah, they're just
they're
a
they're
little
kind of the
too
most
chippy,
annoying team.
a little too chippy with the Chiefs for my taste.
A little too
Like I've said
chippy.
in the past, I have so much more respect for the Bills and the
Hmm.
Ravens than I do for the Bengals. Like there's rivalry there, but like
Yeah.
with the Bengals is it's always I mean like Jamar Chase's whole thing, it's just like I won't even say his name or I think he made some comment about if Mahomes didn't have Kelsey, he would be just another Kirk Cousins or something like that. He said that this offseason. Um, it's funny because my thought was, well, I mean, I'm sure Jamar Chase would say he's better than Kelsey. So what does that say about Joe Burrow? If if Mahomes is just is that reliant on his main target, then and you're better than that target, then what does that say about your quarterback that you're so high on? It's just I don't know. There's just this weird thing with the Bengals where it's a lot more uh te tentious, I guess. I don't know. Just I
Yeah,
don't
they're
know.
not really Bengals. They're just little kitties that are going.
Legitimately, like the Bills have been way more of a.
Yeah.
I guess the Bengals did beat us that time. Maybe that's some of the
Yeah,
difference.
they
But
beat us like 3 times in a row,
yeah,
by in close games. But yeah, and we kind of weren't playing them right, and then we started playing them better, and
yeah.
things fell our way. We ended up winning. So yeah, Bengals, poor
Whatever.
kitties.
Poor kitties. They had a rough week.
They had a really
They
rough
had
week.
a horrible week. I don't wish that on anybody. Even Bengals fan. That would have been miserable to watch. I've watched Chiefs games like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe not even. I don't know if I've watched any Chiefs games like that. I mean, they had like what, like six turnovers or something like
it was
that.
crazy. Yeah, like
Two
they're
two pick
it's
sixes.
it wasn't even blame. Like a lot of it wasn't even on their quarterback. Like he had 2 turnovers,
Yeah.
like the backup quarterback, but it was just everybody fumbling and
Yep.
it's crazy stuff. Yeah, it's like I remember them like the player, I forget which player it was. There's somebody who's recently signed with them. He fumbles and then they bench him and then the next offensive play, a different player fumbles. Like
Yep.
it like shows the player that fumbled and then it goes back to the play and then another guy's fumbling.
Some games be like that, man.
Some stuff is like
So
that.
so how are you feeling about this Ravens game?
Well, in 2 minutes, I'll just say I mentioned this before, but Spagnuolo seems to have Lamar's number and he plays him
Yeah.
really well. And we usually play pretty well against Derrick Henry. So I think it's winnable. I don't know that we will win, because we are still undermanned
Yep.
and our offense doesn't look super great. But I mean, we could have beat the Eagles, right? Like we were
Yeah.
right there in that game. I think it's really anyone's game. Is that home or at the Baltimore? I
That
should
I'm
know
not
this,
sure. I
but
think, yeah, I think that
it is at
I'm
Baltimore.
sure they'll be
Oh no,
favored.
it's at Arrowhead. Sorry, sorry, sorry.
I'm sure that they'll be favored, and they probably should be favored.
Yeah.
But are we still missing our cornerback? Is he going to be still out? Have you heard? Who was that? Um, was it safety? I
Brian
should have looked
Cook.
up. Yeah,
I mean, it's good to have good safeties, but that's not really a strength.
yeah. I'm
I think
just,
we're going to be fine either way.
yeah. We'll have to, like you said, we usually do a pretty good job of shutting down the running stuff. Like they'll get theirs because they're the Ravens, but
Yeah.
hopefully the question will be, since we're going to focus on that, if we can also prevent a lot of passing. So,
Yeah. That's the way to do it. So yeah, I think that's going to be a big part of the game. Can you contain Lamar? Don't lose contain like Chris Jones did that first time against Jalen Hurts. Um, you gotta you gotta keep him in that spot, and he will make some good throws, but you might get interception in there too, like we did in our playoff game. And
yeah,
that's kind of how you have to play it. So let's all come on, huddle up, Chiefs. We got to
yeah,
win. Now let's just keep the good times rolling. Get another one at Arrowhead.
yeah. Don't look at the Ravens, look at the grapes.